All right, so get ready because today we are diving deep into a world of secrets and lies with Megan Lally's No Place Left to Hide.
Oh, I am so ready.
You guys have sent in some seriously juicy excerpts,
Hmm.
and let me tell you, this psychological thriller, it's already got me hooked.
It's so
So
good.
we've got now and before chapters, which
Yes.
I love.
It's the best.
And that's what we're going to be talking about today,
Yeah.
just to give you guys enough info to make you want to pick up this book without spoiling the good stuff.
Exactly.
Think of it as like the ultimate book club prep.
Love it.
So let's just get right into it.
Yes, let's go.
The atmosphere, first of all, is giving like dark academia.
Yes.
Waldorf prep, this elite school in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Sounds intense already, and then you add in the isolation of this creepy lake house.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the perfect setting for some seriously messed up stuff to go down.
Oh, absolutely. Like a breeding ground for secrets and bad decisions, for sure.
Okay, so let's talk about the characters, because, phew, there are a lot of them.
There are.
First, we have Brooke Goodwin. She's like your typical popular girl.
Yeah.
Straight A's,
Mm-hmm.
perfect boyfriend, seemingly perfect life.
Yeah, picture perfect.
But you can tell right away that something is off.
Oh, yeah, she's hiding something big.
She's totally hiding something big.
Yeah.
And then there's Claire Heck, Brooke's former best friend turned bitter rival.
Ooh.
She left Waldorf Prep under mysterious circumstances,
Right.
but she makes a dramatic return.
Oh, yeah, and it does not seem like she's there for a friendly catch-up.
Not at all. It's giving revenge.
Oh, we're 100%.
Okay. And then we have Jenna,
Yes.
Brooke's current best friend, who seems loyal on the surface.
Right. But is she?
But there are these, like, little hints
Yes.
that she might not be as trustworthy as she appears.
Yeah, there's definitely some shady stuff going on there.
Oh, and of course we have to mention Dylan, the boy who's somehow caught in the middle of this whole love triangle.
Ooh. Yeah, he seems to be playing a bigger role than we initially realized, for sure.
Oh, yeah, I think he's going to be a key player in all this.
For sure.
And we can't forget about Claire's brother, Brandon.
Oh, yeah.
He crashes a party
Yeah.
with these super vague accusations against Brooke.
It's like, what is he talking about?
And it's so unsettling because you know it's going to be big.
Oh, yeah. Brandon's definitely holding on to something juicy.
Okay, so we've got this whole cast of characters
Yeah.
with all these secrets.
Oh, so many secrets.
And we know something terrible happened at the lake house.
Yes.
But we don't know what.
Right. Is it an accident?
Was it revenge?
Would something even more sinister happen?
Megan Lally, she's like the queen of suspense. She is not making it easy for us.
Nope. She's keeping us on the edge of our seats, for sure.
And here's the thing. We're seeing all of this from Brooke's perspective.
Yeah.
She's our narrator. But how reliable is she?
Right. Is she twisting the narrative to protect herself?
I mean, that's the question that keeps me coming back for more.
Me too. The unreliable narrator. That's like my catnip in a thriller.
Mine too.
I have to know what's really going on.
Okay, speaking of things that make you question everything.
Oh, tell me.
The missing cell phones at the party.
Ooh, yeah. What's up with that?
Is it an innocent coincidence or is something more calculated going on?
Seriously, I need answers.
And then there's Brooke's father. He's this powerful lawyer, and it seems like he might be involved in a cover-up.
Oh, yeah. What's his role in all of this?
So far, what has stood out to you the most from these excerpts?
What's got me totally hooked, I mean, I think it's got to be the unreliable narrator thing, right?
Yeah.
We're getting Brooke's version of events, but it's so clear she's like wrestling with guilt and denial.
Yeah.
Megan Lally does this amazing job of making you sympathize with Brooke, even while you're questioning her every word.
I mean, it's like you kind of want to believe her,
I know.
but then you're like, girl, what did you do?
Right, exactly. Like, is she a victim or is she the mastermind behind all this?
I'm starting to think there's no clear-cut villain in this story.
Ooh, interesting.
Like maybe everyone's a little bit guilty, you know?
Oh, I love that theory. Like a tangled web of culpability.
Yes.
That's so good.
And this is why I love diving deep with you, because I'm already coming up with all these theories.
Me too. This book is so good.
And we're just scratching the surface here.
I know. I can't wait to see how it all unfolds.
Me neither. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's dig into some of those specific events from the before chapters,
Yeah.
because there's a lot to unpack there.
Yes, let's do it.
And I think it'll give us some more insight into these characters and their, like, super shady motivations.
I'm ready.
So we left off talking about all these characters and how everyone's kind of shady.
Yeah, no one's innocent in this story.
And these flashbacks to 6 months before, like, the now chapters, they really paint a different picture of Brooke, don't they?
Oh, totally. Like on the surface, she seems like she has it all, you know? popularity, good grades, loving family.
Yeah, the whole, like, golden child thing.
But Lally, she's like peeling back the layers,
Yeah.
revealing the pressure, the ambition, and maybe even like a little bit of darkness underneath.
Yeah, and it all starts with that situation with Claire's dad, right?
Huh. Yeah, that whole thing is so messed up.
So Brooke's dad, this high-powered lawyer, might have used his influence to get Claire's dad fired.
Yeah, talk about a power move.
And Brooke, she claims she had nothing to do with it.
Sure, sure.
But but you can't help but wonder if she, like, benefits from her family's privilege,
Oh, absolutely. It's like she's used to getting what she wants, and she's not afraid to use her family's connections to make it happen.
It definitely raises questions about how far she's willing to go to protect her image and her future. Like, if she's capable of that, what else is she capable of?
Right, exactly.
And that's what makes those before chapters so compelling, right? We see how the dynamics between Brooke and Claire shift from best friends to, like, total rivals.
Oh, yeah, the jealousy, the betrayal, it's like a powder keg just waiting to explode.
You can just, like, feel the resentment building between them, especially at that lake house party.
Ooh, that party.
Claire shows up uninvited, clearly trying to, like, disrupt Brooke's perfect little world.
It's like she's saying, I know your secrets, Brooke.
Right, and then she ends up in the lake.
And that's where things get really interesting.
Brooke claims it was an accident.
Does she, though?
Lally doesn't explicitly tell us what happened, but she does leave it open to interpretation.
Right, and that's what makes it so suspenseful.
So, did Brooke intentionally let Claire drown? Or was it just a tragic accident fueled by their rivalry? I mean, what do you think?
Honestly, I'm not sure, and I kind of love that
Yeah.
Lally is so good at dropping these little hints that make you question everything.
Totally. Like, the way Brooke describes Claire's movements, the fact that she doesn't seem to make much of an effort to help, it all feels a little suspicious.
It's like she's almost too calm, too calculated, It makes you wonder if she's hiding something.
And then there's that whole thing with the water, right? It's not just the lake, it's the ocean, the rain, even Brooke's tears.
It's everywhere.
It feels symbolic,
Yeah.
Like water is this powerful force that can both cleanse and destroy.
Yeah, I love that, like, water can conceal things, but it can also, like, wash them ashore.
Exactly. And in this case, it feels like something is about to be revealed.
Like a truth that's been hidden for too long.
Oh, and speaking of hidden truths, let's talk about Jenna.
Ooh, yeah, Brooke's supposed best friend.
She seems so loyal, but those chat logs, they tell a very different story.
It's like a total betrayal.
You realize she's been playing this long game, manipulating everyone around her.
And it makes you wonder, who can Brooke really trust?
Right. It seems like everyone has an ulterior motive. Everyone's hiding something.
And Dylan, he's more than just a pawn in this game, I think he knows more than he's letting on.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then there's Claire's brother, Brandon. He's out for revenge.
He's not messing around.
He wants Brooke to pay for what happened to Claire.
It's all coming to a head, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds in those final chapters.
Me neither, but before we get to that, I want to go back to something you said earlier about the setting.
Okay.
Waldorf Prep, it's not just a backdrop for this story, it's like a character in itself.
Oh, totally.
It represents this elite world where appearances are everything and competition is cutthroat.
Yeah, and I think it plays a huge role in shaping the character's actions.
Like this pressure to succeed, to be perfect, it can really mess with people's heads and lead them to make some bad choices.
For sure, and it makes you wonder, is Brooke a product of her environment, or is there something, like, inherently flawed about her?
Right. It's a question we'll be grappling with as we dive into the final part of this deep dive.
All right, I'm officially dying to know what happens next. Let's move on to the final part and see if we can unravel the rest of this twisted story. All right, so we've talked about the characters, the setting this whole tangled web of secrets and lies.
So many twists and turns.
But I think, like, the big question is, what does it all mean? What's the takeaway here?
Right, like what is Megan Lally trying to say with this book?
Yeah.
I think one of the things she explores so well is this idea that, like, we all wear masks,
Yeah.
especially in these, like, high-pressure environments like Waldorf Prep where image is everything.
Totally. It's like everyone's trying to be someone they're not.
Exactly, and sometimes those masks become so, like, ingrained that we forget who we really are underneath.
Yeah, and Brooke is the perfect example of that.
Totally.
She's so fixated on maintaining this, like, facade of perfection that she ends up making some really messed up choices.
Right, and it's not just her. Think about Jenna, pretending to be Brooke's friend while secretly plotting against her.
Oh, yeah. Or Dylan. like juggling these two girls and his own ambitions.
It's like everyone in the story is playing a role, and it's hard to tell where the truth ends and the lies begin.
Totally. And it makes you wonder how much of our own identity is shaped by the roles we play, the environments we're in.
Oh, that's deep. But it's a question that Lally makes us confront, you know? Like, how authentic are we being? Are we projecting an image that's not entirely true?
And what are the consequences of that?
Yeah, that's the scary part.
And for Brooke, the consequences are pretty huge, right? She might achieve her goal of getting into Yale.
If she doesn't end up in jail first,
Right. But at what cost?
she loses her friends, her reputation, maybe even her own sense of self.
It's a cautionary tale for sure, but it's also like a super gripping and suspenseful read.
Oh yeah, I was hooked from page 1.
Lally is a master of pacing and plot twists.
I know. Every time I thought I knew what was going on, she'd throw in a new twist.
So good.
And even though the book deals with some pretty dark themes, there's also this, like, sense of hope, you know?
Yeah.
Like Jenna, Dylan, and Felix, they're risking everything to expose the truth.
Yeah, they show that even in the darkest of times, there are still people who value justice and accountability. And ultimately, I think that's what makes No Place Left to Hide such a powerful read, right? It's a reminder that even when things seem really bleak, the truth has a way of coming out.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So for our listeners out there who are getting ready to dive into this book, get ready for a wild ride.
Buckle up.
It's a book that will stay with you long after you've finished reading it.
For sure.
And who knows, maybe you'll even come up with your own theories about what really happened at that lake house.
I'd love to hear them.
So that's it for our deep dive into No Place Left to Hide. But the conversation doesn't end here.
Yeah, keep it going.
Once you've finished reading, come back and tell us what you think.
What surprised you, what questions you have, we're dying to know.
Because this is just the beginning.
Until next time, happy reading.